Welcome to For Your Amusement, a theme park podcast that aims to exhaustively evaluate the world's most popular theme park attractions to determine if they are world-class. I'm Ryan Bergara.
I'm Byron Marin.
And for this episode's featured attraction, we go on a coffee run for Brendan Fraser to discuss Revenge of the Mummy the Ride in Universal Studios Orlando, Hollywood, and Singapore. And joining us in Emotep's Prison of Souls is none other than the super talented creator known as Garrett Watts.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here talking about the mummy.
I'm very glad you chose this attraction. And as always, go ahead and like and subscribe if you're watching on youtube.com/watcherpodcast, or subscribe and rate the podcast 5 stars if you're just listening to this bad boy in your car. And hey, tell a friend. It helps us keep this very silly show alive. Garrett, thank you for joining us in the Tiki Room here. What compelled you to choose the mummy?
Let me ask my questions first, nerd.
Okay, fine.
What's going on at the Tiki Room, huh?
It's kind of a play on Trader Sam's over at Disneyland. You know that bar? It's like a tiki bar.
I do know. First of all, I'd like to apologize for calling you a nerd.
I mean, it's accurate.
Yeah.
Did it hurt a little bit?
No,
But was it accurate?
We're all nerds.
We'll move past it.
I've got the biggest poster in my house of Rick O'Connell.
I thought you were going to say of me.
No, I've got a room
And
for
now
you,
I'm hurt
though.
twice. You got a room? Oh,
A whole room.
Rick O'Connell.
Yeah, you know what's fun? Byron and I just met for the first time.
That is true.
right.
And Byron's got a terrific name that sounds like something from The Mummy.
And I've already learned
You're
that
right.
you spent the first, 6 years of your life in Orlando?
Yeah. Oh, you're getting me back on track. That's a good
Never,
thing.
no, but speaking of Rick, so you have massive poster of Rick O'Connell.
Yes.
And does that mean, did you see the 1999 film in theaters?
Yeah, no, I love it so much. I can't remember if I saw it in theaters. No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, how old would you have been?
Ooh, a boy. I'm 18 now, so.
Yeah, no, you look it.
Thank you
That
so much.
beard's really coming in nicely.
Well, I don't know math. Let's see. I was like 9 years old.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're the same age. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would have. Oh, maybe 8. I'm not sure, depending on when it came out.
Dude, I don't know how old I am currently, so.
Yeah, anyways. Why did you choose the Mummy? And you specifically, you had mentioned you ride the one in Hollywood more frequently because we live in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But you have been on the one in Orlando.
Sure. I love Universal Hollywood.
Do you have a pass?
I have a pass.
Oh, it's
I've
two.
got my fancy pass.
You're rocking that
Yeah,
platinum
I'm
pass?
rocking a platinum.
Holy shit, I got a
And-
gold.
Oh, yeah, well, what's the difference between gold and platinum then?
I actually don't know.
It includes parking. Oh, which
Yeah.
ours does too, though.
Ours has parking
but
as well.
ours cuts off after 6 p.m.
And we do have blackout dates.
And we have some
very few, but they
blackout
exist.
days, yeah.
I know. I just remembered. It comes with a Hornets ticket.
Oh, it comes with a horn.
Yeah,
Nights.
which like those are so expensive anyways. But I will say I use the Universal Hollywood in kind of a strange way. I go there and I will just go there alone and just work sometimes.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, dude, really? Oh, look, God, I touch your shoulder.
No, I wanted to high five. Okay. I actually cut an episode of this show in the 3 broomsticks in Harry Potter World.
You got to be yanking my chain.
No, I'm not. I'm yanking it. Well, no, I'm not yanking it.
Well, you ought to be.
Yeah, maybe I should. I do cut things in the theme park just because it's we live somewhat close by the office is close by. I'm gonna say the office is somewhat close by.
Yeah.
So some days I'll just go.
Well,
work
no,
there.
it is close by. The address is 361. Oh, no. I think that, yeah, I love doing that so much. And that's so cool that you do that too.
It's fun.
What if we've sat next to each other and we didn't realize it?
That would be kind of odd. I feel like I would recognize you. Just
I would
because
recognize you too.
You are a large man.
Yeah, and we've done a bunch of stuff
And
together
we've done
too.
and because you're my friend,
Yeah.
that as well. I should have said that first.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, you earlier when we were talking about this podcast, you had mentioned that you actually have a theme park connection in your family
Sure. Yeah, both my parents worked at Disney World when I was but a boy.
because you grew up in Orlando.
Yes, I grew up in I grew up in Memphis and Arizona and a lot of different places. But yes, I lived as a kid in Orlando, ages like 1 through 6.
Yeah.
So my siblings and I would go to Disney World all the time because my dad worked in investigations at Disney, and my mom was a waitress at this restaurant.
What?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Sure. So my dad has the most miraculous tales. He was like Michael Jackson's bodyguard and all these crazy different jobs, and he would like
At Disney World.
Yeah, whenever like these big celebrities would come through.
So he was there when he was he-heing on rides and shit like that.
Yeah,
and
that
whatnot.
that was a really funny thing to say. So my dad would have to solve these crazy mysteries. Like it's like nuts.
Like legit mysteries,
Yeah.
or like who
seriously.
taking corn dogs from the corn dog
no,
cart or
no,
something?
like legit crazy stuff.
Like what?
Okay, I'll tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was these women who were complaining about shuffling in the ceiling above them in the bathroom, and they were just like, "No, it's like really weird. It's not like a raccoon or a rat. It's like full on. Like I think there's someone up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
peeping on them.
Yeah.
Not great. A real creeper.
A peeper.
And and it was
peeper.
Yeah, right. And so they were like, oh, okay, that seems a little unlikely. Like Die Hard style, crawling around in like these vents, right?
Yeah, like Bruce Willis. I got you. John
But-
McClane in it.
Yeah. Oh, the name. Cool. Yeah. I just watched that. I love that sort of thing. Die Hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So they looked into it and they found out that there was this like entrance point that someone was using to get into the air vents, like John McClane.
There it is. Come down to the coast, have a few laughs.
So what they did is they ordered this chemical, this dust that stains anything that it touches, kind of like how they use in clothing when you go to steal it and that thing bursts and it stains.
the bank blobs,
Basically.
like the blue paint.
Yeah. So they found a version of that that's dry, and they killed all the air vents and they laid it down in the air vent. So if anyone was crawling around in there, it would turn them blue. It would dye their skin for days and days and days. So all they had to do was sit around and wait for the blue person to surface.
Oh my God, I just realized that the ultimate perfect crime would be to rob the Luxor bank vault as a blue man.
Ooh!
Because the Blue Man Group plays there, and they wouldn't be able to identify you if you just stripped down naked and you were a blue man.
I gotta be honest with you, I made that sound while not agreeing with you.
I think that's a good idea. I think we should do that.
What about cut Byron in?
Yeah, well, all I gotta say is the Na'vi didn't exist yet, but maybe if it happened
That's
today,
true. They are
then-
also blue,
Well,
but they
like,
don't play at the
What
Luxor.
are you doing here? Animal Kingdom's down the road.
We'll do that. We'll cut him in, but we'll kill him after and just
Like the Joker.
Yes, from the Batman.
That's right.
Oh, anyways, so, and by the way, I don't know if this is all like kosher or like legal to talk about because my dad probably signed like crazy stuff. So let's just say it's fiction and I'm making this all up right now.
No, it's all based. He told us that he said he was going to make up a tall tale.
Yeah.
this.
But anyway, so they just had to wait for the blue person.
Yeah.
And then there was this janitor. My dad was like, he saw him himself for the first time. He was like walking down the hall, and there was this janitor who was walking down the hall just blue as can be, like a Smurf, all over his face, all over everything. And he was like, hey, how's it going, man? What happened? And he was like, oh, I know this is so embarrassing, but I'm a painter and I work with these really specific.
Yeah, I blew myself.
Yeah. Oh my God, a classic Ryan Zinger.
That's right. No, that's actually a reference to Arrested Development.
Now that's a show I love.
Yeah. Anyways, but okay, so he was an investigator. He did that. And then your mom was a waitress.
Yeah. So I was always at Disney. Long story short.
Do you remember which restaurant?
Well, you know what's funny? I thought that the restaurant was called Boat Landings in my like childhood mind. And then I said that in front of someone at Disney and they were like, no, I think you're thinking because they knew Disney
Boathouse?
well.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was
Boathouse.
maybe Boathouse.
Which I've never eaten at, but Byron has had the pleasure of eating at. It's a fancy restaurant.
I didn't know if it's been there that long.
Tell me,
though.
what'd you order?
Oh, well, Boathouse is like a nice restaurant. It's in Disney Springs.
You probably
Good
ordered
mess.
chicken tenders.
It's phenomenal.
This guy's a chicken
what
tender
I
fiend.
usually get the few times I've been at Boathouse, they have a kick-ass burger. By the way, it's not like just like it's like a gourmet. They get like this like special beef from like Chicago that they like team up with. They also have like a really good ahi tuna dish. Really good, ahi tuna nachos. The big
Special
one.
beef from Chicago is so
No,
funny.
I forget what it's called, but like it's like a signature.
All right,
type
this
of-
is getting off the
Look
rails.
it up.
let's go ahead and unless actually you have any particular reason why you actually like what, because you could have chose any ride. You grew up at Disney World, and yet you're choosing a Universal ride.
I am. So I love Disney so much, but there are people who know so much more about Disney. I know this is kind of funny because I'm not like my friend Jake who knows so much about Bright Sun Films, who knows so
Yes.
much about.
He's coming on the show.
I love that man. Jake's wonderful. You're gonna have a great time.
I'm
But
excited.
I'm no aficionado when it comes to theme park attractions, but I do have love in my heart.
And that's all you need.
But I love The Mummy so much. It's one of my favorite movies ever made.
I do love The Mummy.
And I'll tell you what, I love The Mummy Returns so much as well.
Yeah.
I love Rick O'Connell. I am subconsciously trying to be like him all the time. I only buy clothes.
That's fair. You have the build.
Whoa, dude. I'm going to take that compliment to the grave.
You do have the build.
Whoa.
That informs so much because
Yeah.
you have the vibe too. Because he's kind of like he's a funny guy, but he's also an action hero.
I love him so much.
I love it.
So the Mummy I adore, and I've ridden that ride more than I've ridden any other ride in my life.
I believe that it's an easy ride to get on in Universal Studios Hollywood. You go in during the week
Because it's
Walk
kind
on.
it's kind of a secret.
I don't know if it's a secret. There's signs everywhere.
Well, what's going on? What are you going to ask me about, huh? So
Okay,
that's how I love that. That's what I know.
That's a good segue because
Yeah.
now let's actually learn about the ride itself. Byron, why don't we hear some history?
I have a bit of a fan theory for you. Hear me out on this one, but I think maybe the Mummy keeps returning because he can't get a good night's sleep. Maybe if he was sleeping on Miracle Made sheets, he'd be returning to bed. You see, Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning, eco-friendly bedding such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent 99% of bacteria and require 3 times less laundry. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get a better sleep every night. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Go to trymiracle.com/FYA to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift to a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our code FYA at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/FYA and use the code FYA to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/FYA to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Now back to the show. All right, let's take this back to May 7th of 1999. The Mummy, a Stephen Sommers-directed action-adventure flick starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, was released. This remake from Universal's classic 1932 film of the same name would go on to become a box office hit, spawning a popular movie franchise.
I want to keep on doing the Steve Brule. I know. Like that. Constant. I know.
Dude, a good pronunciation on Vice, by the way.
Oh.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I always just say Wise.
Evie.
Evie. That's correct.
Yeah.
Evie. Yes, that's
her
right.
character's name.
Oh.
You do love the Mummy.
Yeah. I think it's Carnuckle.
That'd be so embarrassing if it wasn't. It'd be so embarrassing. It's not. I'm gonna put Round Howard. It's not.
All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, I interrupted your lore.
No, that's the perfect thing to do.
So anyways, this 1999 film would become a box office hit and instantly become adored by Garrett and the likes of many other fans like Garrett out there. And just a few weeks after the release of this film, Universal would also open Islands of Adventure, the second theme park at their Universal Orlando resort. And with that opening came a brewing desire within Universal and the creative team to begin updating their pre-existing Universal Studios parks with attractions better suited for the times, as interest towards many of their classic rides and attractions had declined over the years. So, on September 8th of 2002, Kongfrontation, an attraction featuring a state-of-the-art King Kong animatronic, would close to make way for a new and exciting attraction to take place within Universal Studios Florida's New York area of the park.
By the way, that ride fucking rules. I don't know if you've seen it.
Okay, that's where you're over the city, the miniature city.
Yeah, and you're actually in one of the cable cars.
Oh my gosh, I love that ride.
And you get to see old Banana Breath himself.
That was really funny.
I know. Because he's a big monkey.
That's cool. Hey, Banana Breath. What the hell did you just eat? A banana?
Dude, I miss when they would build big, giant scale animatronics like this. And they don't do it anymore. Now it's just a screen.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Byron.
it. And yeah, now we have King Kong 360 3D.
So
sick.
Although I hear that animatronic still exists at the at Islands of Adventure's version of Kong.
Still exists there, and also here, come on out, King Kong animatronic.
Dude, I had no idea. Does it still?
I heard that they have a big King Kong animatronic at the end of the ride. Like like everything like leading up to it though is like kind of what we have here at the tram tour.
I'm gonna get on that ride with a bushel of bananas.
I know. So had I known that prior, I think I would have had more of an incentive to ride it at Universal.
I would have too.
Islands of Adventure.
It was a real riot going over that city.
Oh, dude, it's so good. And you have the interaction with the host like the tram host like person that's usually up front.
That's cool. Yeah,
I loved it.
with their funny little quips.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Continue. Get this over with, please. Meanwhile, over in Hollywood, one of their classic attractions would also bite the dust in order to make room for their own version of this new and exciting attraction.
Ooh, trivia time. Do you know what it is, Ryan?
It's unfortunately E.T. Adventure.
Oh,
That's right. E.T. Adventure closed in Hollywood on
Never
March
forgive them.
14th of 2003.
Yeah, you look. I get why they did it. I'm sad. I mean, it's better than replacing Back to the Future with The Simpsons.
Oh.
Which was really sad. But, it had to happen. The Mummy was a popular franchise. I like the movies, so as much as it pains me to say, I get it. At least E.T.'s still in Orlando, so.
Oh.
It is. It's still there.
When did the Simpsons ride go up?
That was, ooh, man.
I thought it was around 2006?
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
say
I feel like
somewhere in that
time,
window.
yeah.
I was one of the first people to ever ride that ride.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It was like my uncle works at he's a writer and
How
stuff.
many people do you have that work in theme parks in your family?
No, my uncle is a writer on Futurama.
Oh, he was right. Okay, I see.
And they
Yes.
do the Simpsons Halloween party there every year, and so they had it that year. And my uncle was like, "Hey, kid, come on down to Hollywood, and whatever that sort of thing."
He's got a weird voice.
Yeah, he sounds like that, like an old.
He sounds like Krusty the
old-
Clown, kind of. All right.
Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off topic. Byron, focus.
That's why we have you here.
Okay.
You bring in that flavor.
Byron, could you please focus?
Yeah, Byron.
These attractions were to be based on the 1999's The Mummy, in addition to its equally successful 2001 sequel, The Mummy Returns. To make this happen, Universal Creative would team up with the film's director, Stephen Sommers.
The movies themselves are kind of great rides, and I always love roller coasters, and I always love haunted houses, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to combine a roller coaster with a haunted house? And so that's what you have here.
Universal would also enlist premier rides and dynamic attractions to team up as well and manufacture the roller coaster track and innovative track switch features respectively, which means
Respectively.
roller coaster track and innovative track switch features respectively.
There it is. There it is.
Revenge of the Mummy is going to be California's fastest indoor roller coaster. After traveling through the mummy's tomb, you suddenly catapult into utter darkness. You can't tell what's up, what's down. You go forwards, you go backwards.
Touted by Universal as a psychological thrill ride, Revenge of the Mummy the ride would officially open on May 21st, 2004 at Universal Studios, Florida.
Think you can handle the world's first psychological thrill ride? Revenge of the Mummy, the ride, now open at Universal Orlando Resort.
And as Joe Lane of Theme Park Insider wrote on opening day, Revenge of the Mummy has been dubbed a psychological thrill ride, and in many ways, the title shines through. In truth, most theme park attractions utilize psychological elements to heighten the excitement. Different combinations of water and heat, wind and sound, lighting and pitch black darkness all combine in different ways to directly or indirectly cause sensations of fear and excitement. The human mind is easily fooled, but Revenge of the Mummy does this with full intent and offers no apologies. Speaking of no apologies, what was once home to Steven Spielberg's Baby and E.T. Adventure over in Hollywood becomes the second iteration of Stephen Sommers' monster hit attraction as Revenge of the Mummy opens at Universal Studios Hollywood on June 25th, 2004.
I actually remember that really, really vividly. Were you in LA at that point?
No, I was in Arizona.
Because they made a big deal of this opening down here in Hollywood. They had like a big opening ceremony.
You remember that in 2004?
Oh, because I was a nerd about
Okay.
theme parks from
Yeah.
when I was like,
So you like theme parks?
I fucking.
That's what we're doing here.
I think that's maybe a little too much. But back in the day, I would follow construction and things on message boards. I actually talked about this recently with my wife, and she was like, "Why do you care so much about following construction and all that?"
Yeah.
And the reason it's because we do so much work here at Watcher to make these like big projects, and I have to be directly involved. And if I don't, the project doesn't move forward.
Mm-hmm.
However, to follow something that's being that's massive and is being constructed currently, I could kind of just check in on it, and it's very satisfying for my brain to check in and know that every time I check in, without any involvement from me, it will have progressed, and I will see that, and it helps to kind of just like move me through life.
No, we all have little things like that.
Yeah, it's very nice.
That's cool. I think that's so healthy.
It helps me look forward to something that has nothing to do with me, so I have no stress involved with it.
What a fun thing.
and
You got
when we
something
were
like
kids,
that,
it was
Byron?
kind of like the internet was just ramping up.
Exactly,
So it
yes.
started with these like little forums. You'd have like
You'd be on a forum.
Screamscape,
Or Mice Chat.
Coaster for Mice Chat.
Wow.
Where it just basically be like little like comment like text thread with occasional photos, and now we have like the likes of Alicia Stella at like theme parks.
Well, now, I mean, Shane always says this because you could actually find 14-year-old, 13-year-old Ryan Bergara on Mice Chat just chiming off.
My gosh.
But you'll never find my screen name because Shane has been like, I'm going to find it.
Well, I was just going to ask you, what was your AIM screen name?
Well, my AIM screen name was Hey Ryan is on.
Hey, Ryan is on. That's clever. It's to the point. I love it. What about you?
Dodger Kid 91.
Why?
There it is.
Because I love the Dodgers and I was born in 91. It's pretty cookie cutter. But...
My head went to the Matrix when he said Dodger. Dodge this.
Your mind went to the Matrix when he said Dodger.
My-
and you live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You clearly weren't born here.
No, I was not born here, but I
That's
am,
really fucking.
Listen,
I'm not thinking about those boys in blue that everyone in LA loves. I'm thinking about Bullet Time, baby.
I am thinking about bullet time all the time, baby. No, my head's always in movies land. Movies land.
It used to be called Hollywoodland. Anyways, let's
Yeah.
get back here, Byron.
Yeah. Great names.
The popularity amongst park guests for both these versions would result in Universal Studios Singapore getting their own version of The Mummy on March 18th, 2010. But in regards to the ride layout and execution, it would be designed to be more similar to Florida's version than Hollywood's. I wonder why.
Yeah, it's because Hollywood's is short. Also, they get a full land over there in Singapore, like a full mummy land.
Oh, don't I know it? Their entrance is so much more impressive than our.
Wait, have you been?
No,
Oh.
but I've looked at photos.
Byron, what is the average wait time of this ride
You
in
wanna
Florida
take-
and in Hollywood?
Yeah. So let's take a. Do you want to take a guess at what the all?
You're at the park all the time, so you should be able to guess this. What is the all-time average wait time of this ride at Hollywood?
8 minutes.
I would guess 30, accounting for the big, because some days when it's like really popping,
Yeah.
it's like hour 30. I've seen it
Whoa.
get there. I'm gonna guess 30.
29.
Ah,
Fucking
So you
nailed it.
win over, but no, that's
Technically,
that's a
he would
great
win
guess.
by Price is Right rules. Yeah.
It's interesting because unlike Disneyland down the freeway, I've noticed like Universal Studios Hollywood is like feast or famine when it comes.
They have
to
down
guests.
days.
Like
Yeah.
during the summer, oh gosh, it is.
It's a nightmare.
It's atrocious. It's super packed, but like weekdays during like let's say this is March now. It's you could usually after work go hop over there and get on this ride in like 10 minutes.
my God.
So that averages out to your 29.
If I know fun things about this ride, shall I share them on this
Oh,
podcast?
absolutely. If you are like, hey, wait a second, I have a fun fact that you did not include.
Oh, okay. Guess how much it cost to build that ride?
$40 million.
Yeah, he knows everything.
Yeah, I do. I was gonna have that one too.
You knew?
I knew. Well, because it's
I
here.
didn't write it because I figured it was in your fun facts. So
Florida though. What was the average wait time there? Was it
yeah. So
45?
So Florida's is actually 30.
The fuck?
Okay, smart guys. How much did the Mummy 1 and 2 make cumulatively?
Well, I wouldn't know that. That's not. Hey, look, our purview is the
I think
rides.
it's got something to do with the rides. How successful does a movie have to be? in order to
Worldwide or domestic?
get- All right.
Because the first film in '99 I think made around 450 million worldwide.
You know
and I
so
think
much.
The second.
How did
one
you know
made
that
around
off the top of your
same.
head?
Because I had to figure out what motivated this ride to happen.
That's true. And the second one made just
So I was
kind of
curious, like, well, how much does it take?
Third
to
one
get
did
this,
did not.
Dude, we will not talk about the
It's not
third one.
canon.
I've not seen it. I don't care about it.
It's
Moving on.
really
That's
bad.
Dude.
And then I had a nightmare recently that they made a film in 2017, and then I woke up. Was it 2000? I don't know.
The Tom Cruise one?
No, not that one.
Well, that was in my nightmare.
Do you know that you probably already know this. You probably already know what I'm going to say. I might as well not even say it. Might as well just let Byron say it. But they were going to retrofit the Mummy ride to be, they were like all prepared to turn it into the Tom Cruise Mummy.
Oh my God.
He's nodding because he knows.
I would have been pissed if they did that.
But then when it came out and,
yeah.
they went.
But it did produce one of the funniest videos I've ever seen on the internet. It's the video of someone ripped out all of the music and sound except for Tom Cruise screaming in that part in the airplane.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ah!
They leaked it. They released that
They did release that?
accidentally. Yeah, they played it in theater.
Dude, it is so goddamn funny.
That is so. Can you imagine being in the theater and seeing
Can we
that?
just cut to a 10-second clip of that? I did see the third Mummy, by the way.
Oh,
And it was,
The
I mean,
Dragon
I know
Emperor?
people thought it was offensive because of the whole Asian appropriation. And as an Asian person, I just thought it was offensive because it was bad.
I didn't know that there was any of that happening for it.
I mean,
I mean, how old were we when that came out?
and they recast Rachel,
Evie.
Rachel Weisz.
What's the point?
Yeah, what is the point?
She saw the signs. She saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah,
And she's like, I'm having a good life. I'm doing a bunch of great films. I'm smooching James Bond. You know?
what's my time? I don't know if my timeline's right, but wasn't Brendan Fraser just kind of like, not to spill on this podcast, but wasn't he trying to pay like divorce fees and stuff at that time? Just kind of doing whatever he could.
That was kind of like like the valley of.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no.
But he's
reason.
back, baby. Our
He
boy
is.
Brendan
Oh.
is back.
Thank goodness.
I love him.
This episode is brought to you by the spring cleaning champions, Manscaped. This season, make sure to groom your carpets and the drapes with the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Clear out that winter bush with Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 and watch your confidence bloom like the springtime flowers. Embrace the season and join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our special offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code FYA for 20% off and free shipping. You know the saying, look good, feel good? Well, with Manscaped, it's a bit like feel good and look good, and then feel good again. Manscaped users all over are catching the spring fever. Introducing the season's champ, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Their 5th generation trimmer features 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. It also features dual LED spotlights to guide you through the darkest winter debris. Navigate with confidence in your delicate areas. Hate making a mess? Not to worry, this bad boy is waterproof. Shave in the shower, in the bath, or in the ocean. I love this thing because it comes with a compact case. Take it with you wherever you go. Spring cleaning doesn't just apply to the nether regions. Get the full grooming experience with Manscaped's Signature Beard Hedger Pro Kit, plus Handyman Electric Face Shaver. Whether you're looking to craft your signature look or clean up that neckline, these are always the right tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code FYA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code FYA at manscaped.com. Nothing like a spring cleaning in your pants.
Anyways, let's move on to some fun facts. You could chime in on these whenever you want. Add some. These are, I always say this, these are fun facts.
Oh.
So I found these on the internet.
Okay.
And for the most part, I think they're true. But if there's one that's kind of like, I'm not sure about this, I'll mention it.
Okay.
Anyways, first fun fact, ride length in Orlando, approximately 2 minutes, 57 seconds, with a theoretical ride capacity of roughly 2,000 riders per hour, a top speed of 45 miles per hour, and a cost of $40 million. Though I did say that some places said it was $80 to $90 million in Orlando.
Oh, get real.
And bizarrely, Singapore only cost $20 million.
They got it all figured out at that
They must
point.
have just had like all the parts.
Mummy parts were cheaper.
20
Yeah, mummy. I got some leftover mummy parts in my garage. Actually,
We don't know. I don't know what construction was like there at the time. And yeah, since they did rip the same layout from.
Yeah, it's roughly,
Florida's.
it's almost exactly the same track layout in Orlando, in Singapore.
Wow.
In ride length in Hollywood, 2 minutes. Theoretical ride capacity of 2,000 riders per hour. Top speed, same, 45 miles per hour, and a cost of $40 million. But it does seem it was actually $40 million.
Do you know how long it takes to reach that 45 miles an hour on the first launch?
I don't. Do you know that?
No.
I think it's about 1.5 seconds.
Oh,
Feels faster. Feels faster.
my gosh.
Especially when Emotep's screaming at me.
Oh, he's screaming at you, and then remember all those beetles.
Yeah, I love them fucking beetles, dude. Just creeping around my feet.
Yeah.
We've mentioned this before, but at one point, there was a statue of E.T. in the Hollywood version in the Treasure Room as an homage to the attraction that
Now
it
that's
replaced.
clever.
And in Orlando, there's a statue of King Kong in the Treasure Room, also as an homage to the attraction that it replaced, Confrontation. And in Orlando, if you look up in the Treasure Room, you could actually see the cable car tracks from the ride vehicle that used to go over.
No way.
They kept them there as a nice little like wink because it's so dark in there you can't see it. But if the ride ever breaks down, you look up.
Yeah,
They're
and,
right
and
there.
it's still a fun wink.
It is a fun wink. It's a fun. I just like winking.
That's fun. I didn't know if it was a wink or if it was like they just had to keep that structure in
They might have.
place,
They
but-
might have just been like, we can't take this structure apart. What if we called it an homage?
What if we called it a fun wink?
The Book of the Dead, featured in the Hollywood queue, is the actual prop used in the film.
Come on.
And the Chamber of Treasures also features props from The Mummy Returns and The Scorpion King. How you feeling about that movie?
Do you know how many Scorpion King films there are?
2.
6.
No, there fucking isn't. What are you talking about? You're lying, dude.
No.
That's not a fun fact. That's a fun lie.
6.
No, there is not, dude. There is not. Wait, is that true? Can we? He said there are 6 Scorpion King films. Are these pornos?
They can't
The pornos?
No, they're all official.
All with Dwayne?
Listen,
no way.
worst case scenario, there might be 5. And
There's
I thought
5 and 1 more on the way.
See, okay, that's why I thought it was
Garrett,
6.
we should do a podcast where you and I watch all of the Mummy franchise.
Oh my god, I'd be there.
I'd be fine, and I bet you Shane would be down.
No way.
He would be down.
You remember you told me he wants to be a mouse?
He does want to be a mouse.
God, that's so funny. I can't stop thinking about that.
Mouse Madej.
Ah.
The hieroglyphics featured on the walls of all the attractions are legit, and according to creative director John Murdy, they consulted, quote, the world's foremost Egyptologist to ensure that every hieroglyph was accurate, and some translate to warnings for you not to enter.
Ooh, warning, the King Kong used to be here.
Yeah, warning, banana breath used to be here. Hope we brought you bananas.
Hey, speaking of hieroglyphs, look who wore a themed necklace.
This is actually just a hartouche, and this is because my wife is half Egyptian.
Okay, now I feel cheap. Now I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Look who's wearing a toy.
This isn't a cosplay. It's just, like a relic of my marriage, but that's fine. You want to make a joke out of that. That's cool. Anyways, all the things on the walls you can actually read. So that's kind of cool. I just think it's hilarious that they did consult the world's foremost Egyptologist for this theme park attraction.
That's very funny.
It's funny, but you know what? I respect the grind.
Yeah.
John Murdy on that grind set.
Well, what else is the world's foremost Egyptologist going to be doing?
That's true. He's probably looking for gigs.
Yeah, if he
There's
found
only so
out
many
that-
ruins that he could.
Exactly. If that person, I don't know who it is, but if they found out that they weren't consulted, I feel like they'd have a bone to
No,
pick.
she'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Anyways,
Or it's just, here's a check, here's my blessing.
that's true. Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
actually even take a look at it. She's just like, "I'll write a check. You could just say I looked at it. No one's gonna come in here and actually do it." There's a tall ancient door prop near the ride entrance that was used in The Mummy at the Orlando version. That's a little exclusive for them. Part of the Orlando building was excavated several feet downward to account for a deeper drop at one point in the ride. That's at the climax.
Yeah, it's like a whopping 35 feet.
Sick, dude. Here's a quote from the director of the Mummy franchise,
Stephen
Sommers. Quote, "The movies themselves are great rides, and I always loved roller coasters, and I always loved haunted houses, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to combine a roller coaster with a haunted house? with a haunted house.
That was funnier the way you said it before.
Housed.
That was like when I did the Haunted
End quote.
Manch.
Haunted Mansion. and I think it was a good idea, Stephen.
Yeah.
It's a great. Do you like haunted houses?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I love them.
Yeah. It's my whole identity.
Me too.
Yeah, I think it's our whole livelihood.
Have you heard about my crazy Halloween Horror Nights itinerary that I make?
No?
In the past, in order to, this about Halloween Horror Nights, it's packed.
Yeah.
In order to actually hit every maze, you have to have an itinerary that's very finely planned. So what I would do is I would analyze crowd patterns for the first couple weeks. And from that, I would create a foolproof plan with time code of like, by this time we have to be at this maze, this time we have to be at this maze, here's a 5-minute bathroom break, here's this. And I would send it out to people because they knew I would do this. And they would, because people would be like, I want to come with you.
Yeah.
So you could lead the group.
Wow.
And I would send this crazy email to my parents and all my friends saying like, here's the time we meet. If you're not there at that time, I'm leaving.
Because you wanted to get to the haunts.
Because they're not my priority. If they want to come enjoy it with me, sure.
Okay.
I'm there to get it done.
Okay.
You have the peace of mind. You gave the information.
I gave
out.
the information.
If people aren't punctual, like
one of my friends
actually
actually recently tweeted this out, just saying, just wanted to share this insane email from Ryan Bergara that he would send to us and all of our friends.
So you love it.
I love it too much.
I listen. I love it too.
Well, that's why you got the super pass.
Sure.
You got the platinum pass.
Give me a ghost on a track. My favorite thing in the world is the smell of the Haunted Mansion ride.
Oh, dude. You know what I actually like? My favorite smell, probably the one that instantly gets me very happy. A lot of people will be like, oh, I bet you it's Pirates of the Caribbean water. You know what it is? The smell of fog. Like the artificial fog that's in a haunted house.
Oh, it's good stuff.
On the theme of haunted houses, here's a quote from creative director John Murdy. Quote, what I think we could do differently than Disney, he continued, is we can push things to the edge and beyond. We can be scary and we can freak you out, and that's really fun.
Oh, yeah.
End quote.
Oh, my gosh. The most fun thing?
What?
You know what the Hollywood one has going for it that none of the others do?
What?
Those little peeping mummies.
Oh, dude, we're going to get into that.
We will?
And also, John Murdy, by the way, not surprisingly, he's now the creative director of Halloween Horror Nights. So he got a little taste here.
Oh.
And he was like, you know what? I think I want to go spooky full time.
That's cool.
Which
Isn't
is
it-
something that you and I
Yeah.
must have said at some point as well.
Oh, well, let's get
Let's go spooky full time.
Yeah, for our whole careers.
For our whole careers.
And
what? Go on,
Oh,
Byron.
no, you're good. But Stephen Sommers almost got another attraction in the spooky realm.
The Summers ride?
In Van Helsing, because he directed Van Helsing.
Oh, yeah.
2004, and they were where Forbidden Journey currently stands. It was originally planned to be Van Helsing, but
Van
since
Helsing's
that didn't
castle.
do well.
You could gaslight me into thinking I have been on that ride. If you were like, oh yeah, you've been on it, right? I can imagine that so clearly.
I don't like seeing them rip their skin off when they turn into a werewolf.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Can't you see it though? Hugh Jackman would be like, come on, mate.
I'll be
Oh, that's a pretty good Hugh.
He'd
Was
probably-
it?
I bet he'd participate, unlike Harrison Ford with.
Harrison Ford is doing his thing. He's living his life. Another fun fact here on this theme of spooky. This ride absolutely traumatized and terrified my nephew.
No.
I took him a couple weeks ago. Thought it was a fine thing to do. He was 6 years old.
6 is fine from mummies. Tell him to rub some dirt on it.
You would think so, but you forget this ride's actually pretty fucking scary. There's that creepy tunnel we were talking about with all the mummies.
Oh, yeah.
And then he does say, your soul is mine. You see a guy, and we'll get into
I
it.
mean, that's got to be the most intense roller coaster he went on at the time, right?
It was.
Well, when you're 6, a novel experience like that would freak you to the core.
Anyways, I made a mistake. Next fun fact, over 600 tons of steel, 1,000 tons of concrete, 2,000 tons of sand were used to create the ancient Egyptian tomb in Hollywood. The mummies that fall alongside the coaster before you launch in Hollywood weigh 450 pounds. Arnold Vosloo reprises his role as Imhotep in the ride across the board, as well as Brendan Fraser in the Orlando version. We don't get him in Hollywood.
Yeah, he's
unfortunately.
screaming about his coffee.
Oh, it's the best, dude.
This interview would be better if I had a cup of coffee.
I actually have the line here. Hold on.
And then they end it on
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, well then they were I could see them being like, how do we end this? And just being like, Imhotep scares him.
He says, hey, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I would have enjoyed this interview a lot more if I had gotten my cup of coffee.
That was really good.
And then the comeuppance.
And then he gets and then he gets killed.
Off camera though.
He does get kinda. He turns. He sees like, uh-oh.
Do you know about the lesser known like 4th installment of The Mummy called The Whale?
No.
It's about Rick O'Connell's down days.
Bro, how many mummies are there in this universe? They're really sucking from the teat for a while there.
It was a radical reboot. It's pretty sad.
Yeah,
honestly.
sounds fucking radical. The ride soundtrack was composed by Revenge of the Mummy composer Ellen Silvestri, also known for composing iconic scores such as Back to the Future and more recently, the Avengers theme. Each ride vehicle contains 22 surround sound speakers to ensure clarity throughout, which is great because then you could hear Imhotep screaming at you.
Oh, yeah, and all those little scarabs whipping around.
Oh, yeah, they're just fucking...
Yeah.
Both Hollywood and Orlando contain fun little interactive scares in their queues, but my personal favorite is the little hand tunnel in Hollywood. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
You stick your hand on that, air blows.
Oh,
really fun.
it's yep.
Giving grandmas heart attacks.
Well, imagine if
That kills him.
Yeah.
Dude, wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if someone died? Anyways.
Hey, that happens.
No, it did not.
No, I bet death does.
That'd be such a fucking bummer of a way to explain to someone else in heaven, like, I died on the mummy ride, not on the roller coaster, in the queue.
No,
I
that's
put my
sick.
hand in the tunnel and I got sprayed by air. The vehicles weigh themselves in the loading station, so that way they know whether they have a car full of football players or little day campers. That's a quote from Murdy.
Weird.
Also,
That's a
quote,
weird quote.
it compensates for the weight of the vehicle throughout the ride because it needs to know how much force it needs to exert for the launch
Wow.
and how much it needs to charge.
Charge.
Then some little batteries.
Oh,
And they need to recharge at the loading station.
okay.
There are no inversions on the ride, not due to space constraints, but basically because the company research revealed that even one inversion would negatively influence a person's willingness to ride a coaster. That came from John Murdy as well.
Now, what's an inversion?
Going upside down.
Oh, don't do it.
Head over heels.
I wish they would have had them. Now knowing they could have and they didn't do it just because of market research, kind
On
of
an
annoying.
indoor coaster?
Yeah, rock and roller coaster.
God.
Space Mountain in Paris.
Okay.
Which is crazy because that in a way, saved Disneyland Paris back when that came out, and that had 3 inversions. I wonder if it's like a
so
cultural
sick.
there. Maybe they're
Their
more
Space
into
Mountain kicks
inversions.
ass.
Or...
I don't know what that is.
Last fun fact here. In 2021, the Orlando ride reached the milestone of 100 million riders.
Oh,
Yay.
if they got rid of the Mummy ride, not that that's, I've heard whispers, that would be crazy because for me, they've kept it for so long. It's successful, it's fun, and now it has that nostalgic appeal. Now, they should revamp it for sure because those projections are looking long in the tooth.
Oh, no, for in Hollywood, but in Orlando, they just did revamp it.
No
and they
way.
look fantastic.
Oh, well, I did see a trailer for like the Mummy ride from 4 years ago, and it was like dubstep. It was like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I swear. And
I think
was
I know
like,
which one you're talking
yeah,
about.
and I was
yeah.
like, were they just, I could see that meeting just being like, we got to make this cool again. And they were just like dubstep and like,
Yeah, why don't we get Skrillex on this?
it was a strange choice. But so they revamped it.
They revamped it. Actually, you know, the one in Orlando, there's this, I didn't put this in the fun facts, but there is a thing called the Golden Ticket Awards. They award it to like the best coasters.
Yeah.
And there's an award for best indoor roller coaster. That ride in Orlando won so many times they disqualified it and they just gave it legendary status.
You just unironically hit the, actually.
I'm actually.
It was really funny. I could say that being a big old nerd myself.
And then Disney came in like, oh, we've got these awesome new indoor roller coasters. Like,
Well-
oh no, we got rid of the award.
No, they did because they just, no, they didn't get rid of the award.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
disqualified the Mummy and they literally
Oh.
made the Mummy just be legendary status because it won 5 years in a row.
Oh, and they said enough
Nice.
awards for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you gotta
That's what we should do
spice
with
it up.
Meryl. Meryl Streep. She should be disqualified from every Oscars.
By the way, you mentioned that there's a certain amount of sand that they used.
2,000 tons.
I wonder if any of that was used toward filling the actual track, because I believe they actually filled the track with sand because that's like a trick that they use to make roller coasters quieter.
Whoa! I didn't know. He's a big coaster head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, this is actually a new little section here. And just because this ride is so unique, we're going to have a Hollywood versus Orlando showdown of like which ride is better.
Oh, well, God, it seems like it would go to.
Whoa, well, let's go through it. Let's go through it. Let's
All
go
right,
through
sorry.
it. Theme by theme, we'll give a point to whichever one we think. Okay, let's start with theme. And we'll talk about the differences. The theme. The Hollywood ride is themed around the idea of actually entering a real ancient tomb that is cursed. For the record, this is similar in Singapore. And the Orlando ride goes the meta route, having you tour the hot film set of a new movie called The Revenge of the Mummy that is actually filmed in a real cursed tomb. You'll be extras for going on this tour, and you'll get great performances from Brendan Fraser playing a douchebag version of actor Brendan Fraser. I think this is a clear point to Orlando, in my opinion. I like the theme better.
I don't say, get out of here, theme. Yeah.
So you're Orlando as well?
No, I'd be Hollywood on that.
Okay,
I
is it
don't need
because
that.
you like leaning in just to full spooky and no meta?
Give me the tomb. I don't need a production assistant taking me through a ride.
You don't need Brendan Fraser being Coffee Man?
I get enough Brendan Fraser in The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
That's a hot take.
So
Yeah.
sounds like Singapore would be like your perfect version then, because
Because it's only tomb.
that's the same theme. They just did it more
And it has
made
more
it, like,
track.
feel more lived in.
You're
not
going to have to
like-
tie break, Byron. Tie break.
Oh, it's Orlando for me.
Let's go.
It's but isn't that strange though? I mean, really think about
Just
it. They're
be-
making
is
a
a-
sequel to The Mummy called Revenge of the Mummy when there's already The Mummy Returns. It's
yeah,
weird.
it is. It's
If
a
I
little
was-
convoluted, but I have
If
to say
I
it's
was-
fun.
No, if I was just comparing Orlando or Florida's version with our version here in Hollywood, if there's a world where I could have preferred this version, but the execution just isn't there.
But we're just judging. No, I guess you're right. Yeah, but the thing about the theme in Orlando, it allows for it to be like you're touring a film set in the queue, and you get a bunch of fun little like, oh, this is a hot set. You know,
That's
like
the thing is one of them sets up a story,
yeah,
one of them does not, and
that is true. I'm gonna give we give that point to Orlando. All right, one for Orlando. Moving on. Next category, the queue. In Hollywood, you go through a real tomb, as stated above, with some minor story elements like a mummy and a sarcophagus, and then some lady in a cloak moaning Imhotep and the curse for what feels like 1,000 hours.
That's just me.
When you stand in that room, there is just a big screen of a lady just going, Imhotep, Imhotep, the curse.
Whoa. Is
And
it an animatronic or?
It's just a lady on screen.
Whoa.
And it's just over and over again. No story elements really offered. They talk sometimes about like there's shadows over the land or some bullshit like that. But It's not a well executed cue. It's very short.
Yeah, that 40 million didn't get to that detail.
No, it did not get to that. In Orlando, you tour a film set with a lot of pretty neat artifacts, as I was saying. It's large, it's dark, and I kind of like a little bit biased here. I wrote, it's honestly way more involved than Hollywood. So obviously I'm giving that point to Orlando. Who do you have there?
100% Orlando, because the entrance is the most offensive thing in the world.
Yeah.
At Hollywood, like the entrance
Yeah,
in
it's so
every
bad.
other location, it's like you're entering like a tomb with like 50-foot tall statues.
You're entering the Museum of Antiquities in Orlando.
Yeah.
And
And
here
then in
you're-
Hollywood, it's just like a vinyl poster that says like "Mummy Ride."
It's like they went to Home Depot
Yeah.
and got some like Egyptian statues that you would see in Halloween.
Yeah,
It
no
doesn't,
wonder,
it doesn't
yeah.
help that you're kind of like cruising down that escalator starway,
Yeah.
and you're just like looking at clearly a sound stage.
Yeah,
that
it's
has
pretty
some
rough.
cardboard
It's-
attached.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a point to Orlando
Throw
there.
some
What do you have
gauze
there,
on it.
Byron? Just for the sake of...
Oh, it's Orlando, easy.
All right,
I mean, you
2
even
for
got
Orlando.
That, it looks like you're like entering this like beautiful museum or something.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next category, the part of this roller coaster before it goes roller coaster, aka the dark ride portion. In Hollywood, this is how the ride starts. You see a dude warning you not to enter before getting owned by beetles. Granted, it is a guy on a screen, and the screen is rough looking.
Oh, speaking of AIM names, that'd be a cool screen name. Owned by Beatles.
You're just getting completely pwned by beetles.
Oh, owned by Beatles.
Then-
That's funny.
And then you go into a haunting tunnel with mummies and disembodied limbs that suddenly animate and come at you from the ceilings. That part, pretty fucking cool.
Oh my gosh, they're flipping eyes, staring at you, and their hands
they
coming
light
down
up.
from
They
the
turn
ceiling.
orange. It's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
That freaked my nephew out.
That would.
That's what I was saying. It's scary.
Now that's a freaky part.
And then from there, you see our guy Emotep on a giant Best Buy screen talking about eternal life and eternal death.
Serve me and savor the riches of eternal life. And join us in eternal death.
Much prefer eternal life, but I guess it's a package deal he's offering. And then you see him in animatronic form, where he proclaims your soul is his, and then 2 chonky mummies jump down.
Now your souls belong to me.
And you blast off 45 miles into the indoor roller coaster bliss. That's the Hollywood version. Orlando version, you see an altar. It's kind of spooky. It's kind of got like a nice little vibe. It's like you're floating, almost like a steady cam. And then you see a guy named Reggie. He's all wrapped up. He's been mummified, but he's still alive somehow.
That's the production assistant.
He's been set up in the queue.
Yeah.
And
So, but for context, before he's like, "Hey guys, welcome to the set. They're saying there's a curse here, but I actually don't buy it."
yeah, he's like, they got the Madej here, which is this little necklace that protects you.
right.
Or is it Medjai? I don't know.
I don't know. Everyone's so superstitious.
And Brendan Fraser is a total prick to this guy.
yeah.
Well, he steals it, right? Or he like
Who?
Brendan Fraser like doesn't have one.
He steals it, I think.
I don't remember the context, but on that film that they shot for that,
Yeah.
there's like a craft services woman.
Yes,
who's
yes.
like very clearly white and doing like a really thick like Egyptian accent.
It's a little weird. And she's like, no
like,
Medjai, no service, is what she says to Brendan Fraser when he asks for coffee, which is a runner that goes throughout the entire, which by the way, if it's not clear, we are talking about the videos that play in the queue in Orlando. They set all this up.
Yeah, it's a choice.
It's fun. I like it. It's fun. Not the
fun
part where
choice.
the lady's putting on the accent, but everything else pretty fun.
Even that's got its own spirit. It was a different time. It was 2008.
But if I remember, Brendan Fraser gets Reggie's was it Medjai?
I think he eventually maybe
Because
gets
he
it.
wants the coffee because he's getting
Correct.
rejected service at craft service.
Anyways,
Some 6-year-old, Mom, what is this? I thought this was like the mummy. Like,
yeah, no, what the fuck is crafty? Reggie, by the way, that's who he is. So you see him at the beginning of the ride. He's all wrapped up. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" He doesn't say that.
Are you insane? Get out of here! The curse is real! This whole place is a trap!
He's like, "Get out of here! There's a curse!" And then an Emotep animatronic pops out and then sucks his soul.
Silence! With your souls, I shall rule for all eternity.
And he's dead.
Yeah.
And then from there, you go to a similar treasure room to Hollywood, except in Orlando, Emotep talks to you about riches and treasure.
Serve me and savor riches.
But also says if you refuse, you're going to get, quote, a more bitter treasure.
Oh.
AKA a nice way of saying he's going to murk your ass. But as he says refuse, this is where it's cool in Orlando. mummies pop up. So it's kind of like you refuse.
Oh yeah,
these mummies are gonna get you
in front of the treasure. Look, I brought a prop. Right as I was leaving my house, I brought this because it looks like something that would be in the mummy's
It looks
tomb.
like you would be in the treasure room.
And for those of you listening, I'm just holding up a ruby ring.
Yeah, if you followed Emotep, you would get a lot of those.
Yeah.
And when the mummies pop up, also fire effects come up. They use real fire in Orlando.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick.
On the ceiling?
Yeah.
No. This one they pop up behind the mummies.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that's new, but they do that now.
What if we go to Orlando?
I fucking would be so down. I unfortunately have to work, but
we gotta get in those haunted houses and film them ghosts.
That's we do. We do have to get in those haunted houses and film them ghosts. But then from there you go into there. You actually go straight to the Beetle room. Then you fall backwards from there very briefly before seeing, honestly, a really fucking cool projection now of like Emotep.
Thank God. I mean, honestly, this is news to me that you guys are telling me that they updated the projection technology. Because it was, I mean, I remember writing that like 2 years ago being like, what are we doing, Universal? I mean, truly, like, I get really offended at stuff like that. Not to go on a rant here.
Yeah, no. I agree.
When something is supposed to be the standard,
yeah,
and it's supposed to be like great, and it's so long in the tooth, it kind of makes me mad.
No, me too.
It's not charming. It's not cute to me. It's like, guys, you're supposed to be the top.
Right now, the projector looks really good.
Good.
I generally do not like projections.
Yeah.
I don't like screens. But in this particular case, the projection is like kind of flying around a wall because at that moment, your car is rotating back to the forward position.
Wow.
And then from there, the projection kind of makes your eyes track to the end of a tunnel where you see a projection of an Emotep.
Yeah.
And you blast off into this guy's mouth.
Your soul's on mine!
Pretty good. I love the idea of blasting off into Emotep's hungry ass mouth.
Oh, holy smokes.
He's
Can
fucking
you say
just
that?
yum
Can you
yums.
say that one more time?
Wait, was that like an intentional
It wasn't,
Bergara
dude.
zinger?
It wasn't an intentional one, but I did just say I love the idea of
Yeah.
blasting off
into Emotep's mouth?
Emotep's hungry
Yeah.
ass mouth.
Yeah, damn.
Yikes.
That went hard.
It was.
your soul belongs to me.
Okay, now that
Not-
sounds like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
Forever.
It does.
Yeah.
Anyways, those are the two pre-roller coaster portions of these rides. I personally big fan of the Orlando version.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the point to Orlando.
I think it's across the board more effort in Orlando.
And this is 3 for 3 for Orlando. We have our last category here. It's the coaster itself. Hollywood. After you take off, you basically ride through spooky rock and roller coaster ride without the inversions. You got some neon mummy signs before hitting a stop, being attacked by them beetles. Then you go backwards through the same room.
I wonder if it was the band Beatles attacking it.
No, not Paul. Not Ringo.
That'd be a weird choice.
It would be actually much scarier. Ringo Starr coming out.
Wait, can I tell you something?
Yeah,
Can I
yeah,
say
yeah,
an opinion?
Yeah.
The one thing about the mummy ride that's whack is like when it's going past all those like neon like
Dude, that's what I'm saying. What the hell is that?
Those cutouts where it's like you're in like a fair in like the Midwest.
I would
A
prefer
lot of black light.
I would
Yeah.
prefer no signs, just dark.
Yeah, give me-
honestly,
give me-
better.
Yeah, or put some. Oh my God! Universal hire me because look at this. Put those little peepers in that dark that they have in Hollywood,
Yeah, just some mummy eyes.
and that's just easy. That's just 2 little lights.
Yeah, I don't need the fucking Party City signs.
Oh, what is that? Where did that just? I've gotten there. Like when I'm making a video where you just get to the end and you're like, I don't know, I gotta just get this out.
Yeah,
like,
I got this
Is that
one.
what they got to with that?
I think they ran out of money.
They
is
were
my
just
guess.
like-
Or maybe it was a choice. A bad one, but they made
Yeah.
a choice. From there, you go into this. This is how the ride ends in Hollywood. It's fucking bananas. You end in some weird.
Well, not anymore. Not because King Kong's not there.
No, oh, very good. Very good. But you do end in some weird solar eclipse room. And before that, it used to be a little bit better, but now it just kind of like fog fills the room. Your car rotates back to the forward position. A strobe light strobes, accompanied by Emotep in front of the solar eclipse yelling no in a projection. And then he has like a sad mummy face as he's saying no. And then from there, a false wall retracts upward and you see the loading zone. I've been on this ride where people are literally like, what? Like, it's a confusing ending in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Anticlimactic.
Yes.
That's the equivalent of those neon Party City cutouts. They were
Except
just like
that's the whole like last half of the ride.
Are those in Hollywood?
Or in Orlando?
No, are those on the Hollywood? Which one are you saying is confusing?
They're the one in Hollywood, and this is the Hollywood ending. That's the confusing part.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the Orlando roller coaster portion.
Okay.
Somewhat similar to Hollywood. They have the light up little mummy signs.
Yeah.
But it's honestly better executed here. In a weird way, they kind of look better quality. But what follows this is what really kicks ass. Because this is something I have never seen before on a ride. I've never seen it since. After you go through the initial roller coaster portion, there is a fake ending where the ride stops. You see a silhouette of a ride operator going, "All right, everybody, put your belongings."
Oh, and then her ass gets killed.
And then she gets her soul sucked out by Emotep, and the ride goes again. It blasts off again.
And that animatronic pops out. It is scary.
It's fucking scary, dude.
I read that animatronic is like 600 pounds. The one of Emotep.
I don't think it's actually working at the moment, but yeah, sometimes an Emotep animatronic will pop out and be like, "Nah, just kidding, JK, the ride's still going."
I also heard that they intentionally didn't want its like functionality to be too realistic, so people would mistake it for an actor. But I think its movements are even creepier just by not being.
And after he comes out, the ceiling catches on fire, and then the roller coaster goes right back into sicko mode, and you just fucking are straight right into the right into the dark room again. You got more line of mummies, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that ceiling effect with the fire, which we do not have at Hollywood,
we do not.
They pulled
fire.
They pulled that out of the backdraft playbook.
Oh, that's amazing.
That effect.
Wow.
They used to have fake fire in Hollywood at the end. It was like, it was supposed to make it feel like there was fire all around you with like smoke and stuff. They kind of abandoned it because it didn't really work that well.
Oh, really?
And then at the end of Orlando, you see Brendan Fraser on screen saying his famous coffee line.
I hope you enjoyed yourself. I would have enjoyed this interview a lot more if I had gotten my cup of coffee! Thank you.
It is weird. And I remember thinking this from the first time I rode on Hollywood. To the best of my knowledge, there's no Brendan Fraser.
No.
There's no Rick O'Connell.
No Rick O'Connell at all.
Which is so, you'd think that they would just do something.
Yeah, that's like having Indiana Jones, the ride, with no Indiana Jones. You'd be kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel when I'm on the...
It's weird.
You got Rick O'Connell, the hottest property of 1999, baby.
All you get is Emotep and that one guy that gets owned by Beatles.
And I think I remember seeing a photo of Brendan Fraser at the Hollywood opening.
He was probably like, "Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, why'd I get cut?"
Yeah, I got cut from my own franchise.
Because you asked us for money.
Yeah, my coffee line isn't in this.
Okay. I'm going to give that once again to Orlando, obviously. So it's 4 for 4. Orlando is the superior attraction.
I will say off the roller coaster portion, I think the backwards portion at Hollywood, if
is
there
longer.
is anything to give that a dub for, would be. But I guess the whole piece is still going.
Yeah, Hollywood has a longer backwards portion. But I still think I give the point to Orlando. Do you have that point for Orlando?
I'm still going point to Orlando just because.
Are you
I mean,
Orlando?
you get a fake ending in Orlando, and then you get a fake start. Essentially, you think the ride's over in Orlando, then you get more. Whereas the Hollywood version, you think you're about to get more. It's like, oh, here comes the big finale, and then it's just like, there's the station, get out.
Whenever I'm on,
and then they encourage you to clap after giving you.
That's true. They do. They do encourage you to clap. I forget about that. They do that at Universal Studios Hollywood. I think they do it in Orlando too, where they're like, "All right, you made it," and everyone's kind of doing this like half-assed force clamp.
I remember it was a pretty controversial because they recorded the Jeb Bush line where he says, "Please clap," and everyone was very confused because Rick O'Connell's not on the ride, but Jeb Bush is.
That's fucking insane. All right, so point to Orlando. That means it's 4 for 4. It's a sweep. Orlando is the superior attraction in this version of Showdown, which is very specific to this ride. Congratulations, Orlando.
Yeah.
Let's just go into things we like and dislike about this ride. And I kept this short because we kind of talked about it in this Showdown.
Yeah.
I usually write down some things, and let's go through a couple of them. Let's start with the good. It's called the good and the bad. First good, in Orlando, I wish they would do this in Hollywood. Instead of like when they're like, oh, the ride's ready to dispatch, the people in Hollywood will put their thumbs up like ready to go.
Okay.
In Orlando, they'll put their thumbs down and have sad faces on because it's like, oh shit, these people are gonna die.
They're gonna go.
And I love that detail. I wish they would do it in Hollywood. It's very funny.
That's incredible.
They're committed more in Orlando, I think.
Well,
for this ride.
Across the board.
Horror
That's
Nights
true.
too, right? Have you been to Horror Nights?
Oh,
No.
dude,
Never
it's,
in Orlando.
it's spectacular over there.
Really?
Really good.
It's really good.
What do we have like a trailer of Universal here in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
it's true. We do have like a trailer. Though we have Knott's, and Knott's kicks ass. I love Knott's. So, moving on. Fake ending, we talked about it. It's fucking amazing. It rules. I've never seen it done before. I kind of wish more rides would do that. It's such a smart idea to have a fake out ending.
Oh my gosh. Little stuff like that. Like, I know this isn't about this, but on the Rise of the Resistance ride, when it kind of just like flips your expectations.
Yes, exactly.
That stuff is fun.
Subverting audience expectations. Do it more. We talked about Brendan Fraser already.
Yeah.
That coffee. No Madej, no service. Then we see him lose his fucking mind. I love it.
Yeah.
I love all the mockumentary style clips in the Orlando queue. The superstition of the crew.
Oh yeah, there's like a crew member being like, they say there's a curse. I don't buy it.
And then they say there have been accidents that have happened, like the scaffolding has fallen over.
great
things
story,
like that.
Oh, and that's time appropriate. People love that stuff.
They do.
Like in that kind of slightly before internet when they were like 100,000 people were hanging on the set of The Wizard Returns or whatever.
The Wizard
When
Returns?
Judy Garland. Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. I didn't realize there was the sequel.
Yeah, with Perusa Bulk. And The Wizard Returns. It's great.
Yeah, because the witch got like badly maimed on that set.
Oh, what about the Mummy?
Oh yeah. Another good. I can't believe I wrote this. I've actually been to Egypt recently because my wife. I visited all of our family over there. And I do hate to say this, but the Orlando queue inside does capture a little bit of what the inside of those monuments look like. They really did their homework. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to be that guy that goes to like Europe and it's like, this reminds me of the World Showcase. But honestly, it looks pretty good.
They got that consulting, right?
They did consult the world's most foremost Egyptologists.
I love the idea of you in Egypt being like, this is giving me Orlando Mummy vibes.
This is giving me Revenge of the Mummy.
Yeah.
In Orlando specifically, not the Hollywood version.
Now you got to walk Mari through and see if she gives it the same stamp of approval.
Yeah, no, I'm never going to ask her that question. I love the little hand tunnel in Hollywood. Great. Speaking of tunnels, I love the creepy tunnel in Hollywood with all the little creepy eyes.
I love any creepy tunnel.
It's great. Yeah. Reggie scene's great. Funny guy. Then he dies.
Oh, yeah. You know who I thought that was when I saw him? When I watched the little... I thought it was Frozen's husband. What's his name?
Frozen's husband? Oh, Kristoff?
No. Who plays the main...
Dax Shepard?
Yes.
Okay.
Dax
Oh my
Shepard.
God, Kristen Bell's husband, Dax Shepard.
Okay, if you put him on the screen right now in the video, like, just tell me that doesn't look like a 20-something-year-old Dax Shepard. Oh, come on.
I can't give it to you. I can't.
Regie's wearing that little ball cap, right?
He's wearing a ball cap.
Come on. Okay,
he's wearing a red ball cap, by the way, bold.
I swear, everyone in the comments saying, I looked it up, it looks like Dax Shepard.
I don't think so. I love the look of the treasure room in Orlando. It's very dark. I like it better. Projection screen transition Orlando and the Yum Yum Man, the guy who has that hungry mouth.
What's that?
You know what I realized? Emotep, the guy.
Yeah.
He eats the coaster. That guy in general just loves eating things.
Oh, he's
has a
always
big mouth.
putting his big old mouth over
You
people's
remember when he becomes
heads and
sand
stuff.
in the Mummy and he's like,
Yeah.
duh.
Yeah.
And then he does a waterfall in the second one, doesn't he?
My God.
He loves eating shit.
He's a gobbling fiend.
He's the Yum Yum Man.
I think that's in like the theme park attraction designer playbook is you have to go into the mouth of something scary. What Indiana Jones does it with the Cobra. Forbidden Journey does it with Slytherin.
That's true.
And now you get it with the Mummy.
You go into the mouth of something. That's spooky.
It is fun.
You're being eaten.
Oh, that's freaking me out.
Isn't there a word for that? Like vor?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Mummies Falling in Hollywood, really good. Emotip animatronic Hollywood, really good. And then we have the fire effects in Orlando. I wish we had those. We already talked about the fake ending. And as Byron pointed out, there is a longer backward stretch in Hollywood. That does it for all my goods. Is there any other thing that you want to talk about in this ride that you're like, that kicks ass?
Just those little peepers.
You love the peepers.
That's my favorite thing.
Ooh, I do like the well, I don't know if they have it in the Florida version because I've been on the Hollywood version so many more times. But like, yeah, like the bugs on the floor halfway through the ride.
Oh yeah, that's only on.
Where they got the little air effects.
It's only in Hollywood.
Yeah,
the little air effects are only in Hollywood. That's a Hollywood exclusive. We had that. Man. We might have a vinyl sign from Home Depot that says "Mummy Ride," but we have.
I gotta give them.
They hooked up an air compressor back there. Holy shit!
That works sometimes.
Let's get into some bads here. On that note. that moaning lady in the queue in Hollywood, I could do without her.
Yeah, I can't even picture her, so maybe I blocked that out.
You should look up moaning. I don't think you'd have to type in moaning lady in YouTube. You might get a different result.
Oh,
But,
hey, I think we're talking porn.
yeah, I think so. The ending of Hollywood is terrible. I mean, it's just a bad ride ending. There's no other way around it. It's confusing. People repeatedly in cars that I ride in are like, what the fuck the ride's over?
Yeah.
Screens, as you mentioned in Hollywood, looking rough, long in the tooth, old,
Yeah.
shitty.
All right.
Just saying.
And the Hollywood version's like 45 seconds shorter, right?
That's true. And another bad ride length in Hollywood, not satisfactory.
And it already feels like you're spinning around at the end of that ride for 30 seconds before it opens.
I feel
up
like
to
most
the
of that
station.
ride is the ride rotating at the end.
Oh my God, it's so fun though. I mean, have we said that ride is just
It's
fun?
fun.
We've been talking a lot about it, but
fun.
holy smokes, is it fun?
It's fun. It's just not as good as the Orlando one.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I actually thought the ride was pretty fun until I got on the Orlando one and I was like,
Oh, really?
I wish I had never seen this.
Ugh.
And then the last bad I have here is I wish the backwards was longer in Orlando. That's the one complaint I have.
You forgot to say no Rick O'Connell.
And no Rick O'Connell in Hollywood. There you go.
Damn.
Hey, that's a good addition, though, to the bads.
Thanks, because he's the star of the movie.
Yeah, you would think.
He's the whole thing.
Yeah, like-
and he's not on it.
Who's gonna who's fighting the mummy? It's called Revenge of the Mummy.
They even kind of fumbled that in the Orlando one because he's just like, it's not Rick O'Connell. It's just like a bad version of Brendan Fraser yelling at interns.
I do enjoy that because he's apparently a very nice man.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was actually a dick, though. That's how you know he's a good guy because they're able to make that joke because it's so obvious he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Like you're not doing that with like, I don't know, insert some fucking crazy actor name there. Anyways, let's move on to the crown jewel of this podcast, the finale, the world-class tests. This is a rubric of 10 tests painstakingly devised by Byron and myself to determine if an attraction is world-class. To receive the highly coveted world-class pass, the attraction must pass 7 out of 10 tests. A score of 6 out of 10 leaves the attraction up for debate for world-class pass standing, and anything lower than 6 out of 10 is an automatic fail. This is going to be interesting because there's 2 versions of this ride, and we're going to pass them both through it, and we'll just give a score for both.
Well, 3 if you hop the pond.
Yeah,
we're not doing that.
I've never been on the Singapore ride, so
yeah.
Let's start with the first test, the average tourist test. Would the average tourist have a hard time getting on this ride? Is there a long wait? Is there a complicated queue system? Judging both of them, I don't think so.
No, not at all.
Average wait time of 30 minutes. There's no express pass bullshit here. Nothing you have to pay extra for.
And you know what? Even if you haven't seen The Mummy, creepy mummies and treasures and tombs is universally loved. If you're 5 years old or 55, which isn't that old, you can enjoy the Mummy ride.
Yeah, why did you go 55 for the top of that
I
range?
should have said 95.
Well, I think there is probably a certain age where you don't want to get on.
Yeah, because if you were 95 and you read The Mummy.
Oh my God, that made me so sad just thinking of the day that I'm too old to get on a roller. I'll die on a roller coaster before that happens.
That's cool.
I'd have a heart attack on a roller coaster.
Have you seen the one they made?
What?
There was one that was designed to kill you.
Oh.
For euthanasia. It was like it would just continue to loop.
That sounds not real, Matt.
That's not fucking real.
It's like a thing.
Like you have to pay a premium?
No,
like
it doesn't exist, but the guy wants to make it.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's just infinite loops until you fall asleep and never
What
wake
the
up.
fucking H.H. Holmes shit? The hell is that? All right, 1 for 1 for both. Moving forward. Test number 2, the Leslie Stahl test. Would you be willing to wait 60 minutes for this attraction if you've already been on it at least once? Or how we've been doing it a lot recently is if every ride in the park was 60 minutes long, would you wait for this one?
100%. I would personally, yes.
In Orlando and in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Hollywood, I would not.
Oh!
I would not. And for Orlando, I would.
Okay. Well, this is tricky, though, because there's a weird nuance in your system that there's 2.
Well, not really.
They're 2 very different routes.
We want to see if they're both going to be world class.
Oh, do you want to see if they're both world class, not just a cumulative experience?
No.
Yeah.
They're
It'd be
different
unfair. It'd be unfair if one of them got dragged down by the other.
Okay,
right.
I would
if
wait
they were
for
a little
it.
more similar.
You would wait for the Hollywood one.
Yeah.
You would wait for it over Jurassic World.
Brian, he chose
Yeah.
this ride. He loves this
Yeah, I
ride.
love the Mummy ride.
That's true, I guess. Wait, the ride you picked to talk about, you like?
Oh, but I do like that dinosaur who's arguing over the popcorn in Jurassic World.
That's gone.
If I'm gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Why would they get rid of that?
That's the maddest I've ever seen you. You look like he was gonna hit me right there. His fist clenched.
Well, I tell you, that's the only reason I'd go on that ride. Why would they get rid of those two dinosaurs arguing over the popcorn?
Hey man, I don't make the rules. I just explain them.
I am.
Oh my god.
So mad.
I almost had a ring imprinted in my forehead.
Dude.
The treasure ring.
Okay, I will never go on that ride again.
I think you should. It's a pretty good animatronic at the end. Well worth it.
The one that there's a dinosaur above the thing, the trapdoor?
Yeah, it looks exactly like your hand dinosaur.
No, if they got rid of those popcorn bad little guys.
I didn't realize
dude, I am so mad. I'm furious. My head is hot.
I didn't realize that
shot.
your opinion of that was such a house of cards that was dependent.
Dude, I lose my shit laughing every time I see them, and I can't believe they got rid of them.
I actually could see you.
Dude, I lose my mind.
Give Jurassic World a shot. Just, there's a 30% chance that you might get to see a really cool animatronic.
After hearing that, here's the shot I want to give it, and then imagine I punch it.
Yeah, no, I don't think you should do that, but I mean, you certainly could.
Okay, sorry, but I would rather. Oh, I'm so mad. Yeah, I would rather ride the Mummy than I would the Jurassic
I'm going to
Park.
say no for Hollywood. There are other rides there I would rather wait 60 for, namely the tram and also Jurassic World. And honestly, I just wouldn't wait 60 for it. It's not worth it. It's like a 2-minute ride. Byron, I'm failing Hollywood and I'm passing Orlando.
I'm right there with you.
So that means Hollywood is a fail.
So 2 for 2 on Orlando's version and 1 for 2 on Hollywood's version.
Correct. This is going to be very fun to keep track of. 2 for 2 for Orlando, 1 for 2 for Hollywood. Moving on.
Yeah.
Test number 3, the smartphone test. Does the queue of this ride have enough to keep you off of your phone? Basically, is there things going on in this
Oh,
queue?
interesting. Ooh, gosh. Oh.
Hollywood?
Not really.
Not unless you like hearing somebody moan the curse over and over again.
Yeah, just imagine on a hot summer day being out in those switchbacks and you're like, oh, finally,
That's
get
true.
into this AC, and then you're just hit with this emotes. You're like, all right, get me back in the heat, please.
Well, in Hollywood, yeah, he's right. You're waiting outside in those like switchbacks.
Yeah, I can't really actually picture the Hollywood experience, which isn't good. I can picture it before you get on the tram. That's cool. The cavernous area. You get in there and you're like, finally, some effort.
Kinda.
And I hate to be a nitpicker, but the Hollywood switchbacks, they're just like standard metal railings.
Yeah, they're
like
not even
blue.
themed. Yeah, what the
There's
fuck
not
is
even
going
an
on there?
attempt.
Make them sandy.
They literally have, I believe, it's maybe it's not a hot dog cart, but it's like a food cart in the middle of the outdoor queue there.
Yeah.
It's like, aren't we supposed to be in Egypt? Why am I seeing Cheetos?
The irony is
it's fucking weird, man.
Dude, at least call it like the Sphinx dog or something funny.
Yeah, give me a Sphinx dog.
I mean, riddle me this. Wouldn't the Hollywood version have been the better place to have the theme that the Florida
That you're on a
version
set,
has,
that you're on a set. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my
literally
gosh.
looks like you're approaching a soundstage the whole time.
I can't believe it. I never thought about the most obvious detail in the room.
And
You're
also
right.
Orlando, that queue is fucking amazing. We talked about it
it's
a little
really
bit
good.
already at length.
Yeah.
They sets up the story. You have all these cool film set like fun little little
Hi, I'm Dax Shepard. Welcome to the set of The Mummy Comes Back.
well, not quite Dax Shepard, but yes, I'll go along with it. And then also you have actual film props from the film littered throughout the set. Also, it's huge in there. There's 2 stories. There's that big ass like statue.
Hi, I'm Frozen's husband.
This guy.
Sorry.
It is not Dax Shepard, Garrett. Okay, now I'm getting it. And now I'm in the 2 guys fighting over popcorn.
Sorry.
I actually think this is a pass for Orlando. A clear pass.
Yeah.
And then Hollywood's a clear fail. So that is 1 for 3 for Hollywood and 3 for 3 for Orlando.
Good luck with this ranking system.
Oh, dude, it's going to be great. It's going to be so good. Everyone's keeping track of it at home. They're like totally,
America's on the edge of this.
totally comprehensible, dude.
Orlando's got a 2-point lead.
Yeah. Tony Stark test number 4.
Oh.
How innovative is this attraction? Does it push theme park tech forward?
Ooh. That 3D render of dude. I mean, well, you say they updated it though. I haven't seen that.
In Orlando, I think the fake out ending is pretty cool, but that's more story.
Okay, is this about the tech or the actual like coaster technology, like the physics of it? And stuff?
The tech, like for instance, on Rise of the Resistance, they do things in there that are technologically.
I think that would go to the Mummy. There's some cool stuff happening. If you're talking about.
Is it the first coaster, Byron, indoor to switch from going forward to backwards?
I believe so.
And it's the first psychological thriller coaster.
That's
I mean,
true.
they had
Also
to create
indoors.
like completely like original like track switch systems.
Yeah,
That's
for
pretty
it.
cool.
and the Beatles on your feet, that feels pretty spooky.
I mean,
And
come on.
once again, this was like Universal like touted this as the world's first psychological thrill ride. And you know what's another interesting thing that I did not notice until like researching this ride for this episode is, you know how like it all looks like just the ride vehicle just looks like one like minecart essentially.
Yeah.
Those rows actually separate a little bit once the roller coaster part starts. So for the dark ride, it looks like it's all together.
Wait, what?
But for it to actually navigate like a roller coaster, you actually have to create a little separation, and it actually will detach each row.
The car expands?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably good.
It's very minimal, but I'm like, there's no way a coaster's done that before.
I did not know that.
It's like very minimal just to give it that flexibility, because when you're going over banked turns, they all like, you know, different portions of the train actually have to be a little more independent of each other.
We should go on this with the three of us.
No, I never noticed
and Byron and Garrett, if they're sitting on my left, if you're flanking me, you guys should hold hands.
Oh.
And then in the roller coaster portion, if it does expand, maybe your hands will come apart because it's getting wider.
And some 6-year-old will have something to really be scared of.
Exactly.
Instead of
Mommy!
Just go online and like watch like videos of like not POV but the reverse POV of riders on the train, and you'll see the people in the rows behind each one start to move. They're not completely in sync because they're independent.
I think that's a pass for both, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's a pass. I'm gonna pass it. 2 for 4 for Hollywood, 4 for 4 for Orlando. Let's move forward. Test number 5, the Hollywood test. Can this attraction be adapted for the silver screen? Does it have a comprehensible story?
Wait a minute, it already is.
It is already adapted for the silver screen, and both of them, the Hollywood one kind of has a story. I think it does. The ending is bad, but it's still a story.
Sure.
And the Orlando one has a very clear story.
Yeah.
So
this is a tricky question because it's like already, I don't know.
Some rides are like Pirates of the Caribbean was made into a movie after the ride.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're right.
So like that's why we made the test.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever seen The British Office?
I have seen The British Office.
Dwight from The British Office, isn't he in Pirates of the Caribbean as one of those little boat guys? Or am I thinking someone different?
Wait.
Yes.
Ha! Thanks, Matt.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's one of the pirates
In the film.
in the film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like Mackenzie Crook? Or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Cool.
Like the guy with the eyeball that keeps falling out.
He's the Dwight in the British Office.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Rainn Wilson.
Oh, no, he's not in that.
Yeah, you said The British Office.
He wishes. Sorry.
That's clearly a pass for both, so let's move on. 3 for 5 for Hollywood. 5 for 5 for Orlando. It is acing this so far.
Ooh, cool.
Maybe that's why it had legendary status, according to the Golden Ticket Awards.
Wow.
Simpsons test. Test number 6. How likely is this to be replaced with something new? A la Simpsons with Back to the Future.
I'd say not, because it's I don't know, it's banking on that nostalgia thing, which Hollywood is obsessed with, obviously.
Well, until they removed Back to the Future and E.T.
I don't know. It's crossed that barrier for me that I think people like. It's like a iconography thing on the internet of like the Mummy, Brendan Fraser, like how cool it is. I think 5 years ago it would have been in danger. I don't think anymore.
I think in Orlando it will stay. I think in Hollywood there's a fair chance that they may get rid of it for something Super Mario
The Life
related.
of Pets.
They already have that.
The Life of Pets 2.
The thing is, the location in Hollywood makes it vulnerable to change because, I mean, they're all just like wedged there between like Jurassic World and Transformers. They're all just soundstage boxes that could easily, and it almost looks like where they built it with it in mind of like, hey, we want to switch this out, just yank the cardboard off.
And like he already said, it's not done well. The outside facade, the ride entrance itself would not. You could just swap that sign out.
Yeah. I just thought of a sick ride idea
What?
for Universal. Imagine that it's all the canceled rides like coming back for revenge. So like E.T., the Mummy, or like E.T. and King Kong and stuff.
And they're all just duking it out.
Yeah, and
here.
it's like, you can't get rid of me. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Also, just a King Kong roller coaster would be fucking cool.
Wouldn't that be so
cool.
sick? All the canceled rides. Tomb Raider ride coming back.
That was never a ride.
Huh?
Tomb Raider ride.
There was a Tomb Raider ride
What?
at one of
What?
the
There was a huge Tomb Raider.
one of the Paramount parks back
not-
when
not
they.
Hollywood.
Oh, not at
Cedar-
Universal.
not
Cedar
Universal.
Fair owns those parks now, which is why it's no longer a Tomb Raider ride. It was basically like a flat ride essentially that was enclosed, and it basically flipped you head over.
You should watch a
heels
video
with
about the Tomb Raider ride.
There's a Defunct Land on it, I
There's a
think.
Defunct Land video about the Tomb Raider ride. It's nuts. And I'm a huge fan of Tomb Raider 2001.
I do the Angelina Jolie version.
Yes, dude.
It's your aesthetic once again. You just love tombs. You're Tomb Man.
Yeah.
You're Toomey Tom.
These other studios saw Indiana Jones come out in 1995 and were like, we need our temple ride. Mummy, we need our temple ride.
That is
Tomb Raider.
probably accurate. Actually, I'm curious, Byron. Are you going to pass this or not for Hollywood?
You know what? I'm so torn, but I do think it's remained one of the most popular rides in the park.
It is. It's one. It's one of them.
It's constantly got to wait. I don't think they're going to be in any rush to change it. And I do think the Mummy ride experience has transcended past people's enthusiasm for the films. No offense. For
I think you're right.
People
I
growing
think
up
you're right.
where they might not even see those films, but they will enjoy riding Revenge of the Mummy.
Natalie
So
and
I would
Brugry,
give it a
that's
pass for both.
You know what
Definitely
I'm
a hard, assault, like an easy pass for Florida. The biggest threat, I think, for the Mummy at
Is Emotep.
Hollywood is Emotep. No, is the fact that Mummy has been the only legitimate roller coaster at Universal Studios Hollywood. I mean, like, I don't really count Flight of the Hippogriff.
Well, now they're going to have Hollywood.
But since they're getting now
Hollywood
a
Drift.
major e-ticket
That ride's going to fucking kick
roller
ass.
coaster.
What? For what?
The Fast and the Furious roller coaster that's coming.
Oh,
It's going to be crazy. A lot of people think it's going to be the best coaster on the West Coast.
my God. The best West Coaster. That's cool.
Yeah, the best West Coast.
Wow.
I think it's going to stay. I didn't think about the fact that people enjoy this ride beyond the movies now. Like, they actually just enjoy the experience.
I know about the one in the underground sewers and like the tram ride that's Fast and the Furious.
Yes, that one sucks.
With like the weird, like, there's like an underground rave that you go to, and there's like
We
this
got to do an
stock-
episode on that.
There's like stock footage of these like dancers.
No,
that are,
my
like-
favorite part of that is Vin Diesel hanging from a helicopter. Don't worry, I got this. He's hanging from
And
a
he's
helicopter.
like the size of the helicopter.
Exactly.
So their notion of an underground party is like what a 73-year-old woman would think that a party. It's very
And they-
7-year-old
and they
boy.
dance-
yeah, exactly.
And they dance as well as I do, which is not a compliment.
there's like women dressed like they're going to like the club in Miami, and
It's
they're at like
rough.
an underground sewer
It's rough
rave.
banter. It's very clear none of the actors were there together. They all were comped in. Anyways, I think it's a pass across the board here.
Yeah.
A tentative pass in Hollywood, but a very clear one in Orlando. 4 for 6 for Hollywood, 6 for 6 for Orlando.
Think about it this way: Waterworld, no one gives a shit about that movie. And
Yeah,
it's,
and they
it's kind of
fucking- the
engraved
show
as part
kicks
of
ass.
like the
I've never seen
Universal
it.
Studios Hollywood.
Garrett, what the fuck are you doing,
I've got
man?
my pass and I've never done
You
it.
have a platinum pass and you've never seen Waterworld?
Because I've been waiting for you.
I will go with you just to go see Waterworld.
Dude, I've never done it.
Your mind is going to be blown. That show is incredible.
It sounds cool. I love water. I love worlds.
We're going to go.
Wow.
We're going to go.
This is great.
And then we'll get on the Mummy and be like, hey, we kind of like that ride. Anyways, moving on to test number 7, the signature moment test. Can this ride hold its own without its signature moment? Is it a one-trick pony? Now, the signature moment for me in Orlando, there's a couple. There's the launch, there's the fake out, and in Hollywood, there's the launch.
Don't act like it's not the Peepers.
And the Peepers, perhaps. I think these rides are both pretty versatile, to be honest. I think that, like, because they're a roller coaster with theming,
Yeah.
and it could have just been like a roller coaster in the dark, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think they are versatile, and I think if
Yeah.
you removed the roller coaster from both of them, there would still be fun in the dark ride elements.
It can be a track ride and it'd still be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Orlando's a pass for sure.
All right. I
I
think
think
as
it's
well.
like an elongated signature moment to even have those things like flip up with the fire.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's like an elongated, like that whole Starkright sequence is
I love
just
mummies.
and then the fake out with the in the ceiling engulfed
The
in
Beatles?
flames.
There's the Beatles too in both of them.
The Beatles in both of them.
I was trying to figure
I still
this
think
out.
it's easily the signature moment in Hollywood's version is the launch for me.
Oh, yeah.
I think without that launch, you're left with the backwards section feels more fun and complimentary as opposed to...
That's true. It does have a backwards section. So if you took out the launch, but you still go backwards, still pretty good ride.
But is it...
Dude, it baked my noodle the first time. I didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah, every time I go on that ride with someone new, when the backwards portion happens, they're like, what?
It flips their fucking lid.
They can't understand it. That's where people were probably having heart attacks.
Pass for both.
I'm going to pass it for Hollywood and Orlando. What is it a pass for both for you as well?
I didn't realize exactly what we were talking about, but I love The Mummy. I'm going to leave this to the experts, honestly.
But you would you agree that both rides are versatile and they're not like a one-trick pony?
Like if you took your favorite moment out of the Hollywood version, would it still be a legitimate ride for you?
Yeah, there's plenty of little smelling salt moments on each one that I think are really fun. You got the fake out in Orlando of the girl being like, "Thanks for riding the ride,"
and then she gets
her
soul
ass
sucked.
killed.
She gets her
and then it goes to 11.
Yeah, and then you have you got all these fun little things. Come on.
It's good.
I love it.
Pass for both, 5 for 7 for Hollywood, 7 for 7 for Orlando. And we're going to move into the last 3 tests here. But before we do that, let's have a word from our sponsors, which I haven't thrown to all episodes. So hopefully we have one here. Amazing. Thank you for supporting the show. Moving on to test number 8, the premature detraculation test.
Ooh.
Does this ride finish too soon?
Sure, but that's the glory of it.
I think the Orlando version is perfectly paced and the length is great.
Yeah.
Hollywood, I think it's over really quick, and a lot of the ride is rotating at the end in that weird solar eclipse room, and then the dark ride portion's pretty tiny in Hollywood.
Yeah. It does end quick, but I love that I'm revealing myself. It's fine that it ends quick. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's totally fine. I no complaints.
People like
no
that.
complaints.
People do. Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
No, truly though, like I do think the brevity of it is one of the most like fun parts because it hits fast and furious, and I ain't talking an underground rave.
Disagree.
You think you're no?
I think it finishes just a little too soon for my taste. Just a little too soon for my taste.
I get it.
I hope you don't. Byron, what do you have here? I'm going to fail it for Hollywood, and I'm going to pass it for Orlando.
I don't think by going off roller coaster alone, I don't think either of these would pass. However,
the
Florida version has such an extensive and impressive dark ride portion that it does make the coaster portion feel very adequate, whereas the Hollywood version, it's just not enough. You got a 2-minute ride over there, which a lot of it feels like a dark ride portion, but it's also not that long. You're probably spending a lot of
you're
it
not
in
really
that
getting
final
satisfied
room.
in any portion of that ride, in my opinion.
I think this is one of the best versions of a fail for the premature detraculation, because you feel like you're going to get more, and then even on re-rides, I feel a little disappointed.
No, I don't think anybody is really like wanting to clap at the end of the Hollywood version.
But they make you.
They do make you.
Ooh.
Which makes it even worse.
Ooh, people make
imagine like in your case apparently like you.
I'll clap anyways.
A little too soon. You're like clap. Clap.
Please, I need this.
Clap, motherfucker.
Sometimes I feel like they start that clap to make sure like the guests know like, oh yes, the ride is over. That was weird.
Yeah,
it is
the
over.
door
Like that's your validation.
I think you figured it out. Also, you look like Kit Harington, huh?
He gets that all the
I've
time.
never gotten that.
Yes.
Oh wait, but you do, right?
He gets that all the time.
I have this weird thing to where I'll say that to someone, like I'll see them in public, be like, I thought you were," and they'll be like, I legitimately be like, "I've never heard that in my life."
He got that all through college.
Really? I think I'm weird with faces.
I don't think I got it in college because I didn't have long hair yet.
You got towards the end when you had the long hair. Either way, it's going to be a fail for me in Hollywood and a pass for Orlando. You want to pass it in Hollywood, it seems like. You don't think its finish is too short in Hollywood.
I love it all.
Well, then that doesn't. You got overruled, so it doesn't matter.
No, I mean legitimately, I'm leaving. I'm not disengaging. Y'all are the experts on this. I'm very easy to please.
But you are.
There's no such thing as a real expert.
And like you said, all you need is love in your heart.
Yeah.
And you do love this ride.
Yeah.
And therefore your opinion matters. In this particular case, it did not because you got overruled. But
yeah. I love in moments like this, like imagining like guys making like scientific breakthroughs and us like, okay, there was the track system.
No, this is where you need to really put your effort. You need to put your effort here. And that's why it's 5 for 8 in Hollywood and 8 for 8 in Orlando. Let's move forward. Test number 9, the exit hall test. Do you see people be physically excited getting off of this ride? Do they have that bounce in their step when they're walking through the exit hall?
Oh, I get off like this. Audio listeners, I'm pumping my fist. I get off like this. Hell yeah.
Your fist, you're Pauly D in it? The entirety of the exit hall?
I actually don't know that reference, but I'm doing this.
He's from Jersey Shore.
I'm from Jersey, he's doing this.
I have to say, as much as I don't think the ending of the Hollywood one is satisfied, I'm always like, that was a fun time. Mm-hmm. And I do have a little bit of a bounce in my step after The Mummy. I didn't after my nephew was traumatized because he was crying.
Oh my gosh, what'd you do? You take it to get some popcorn?
I said, suck it up.
That's funny.
No, I got him ice cream.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got him one of those huge ice creams from Mummy Eats.
You know people who love Dole Whip too much? I can't with that.
I like Dole Whip, but I'm not obsessed with it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's
it's pretty good. It's not fine.
It's like Dune 2. It's fine. Stop
Oh,
talking so much
dude,
about it.
I don't know. I
It's
love
not
Dune.
the magnum opus of desserts. It's very good.
I think Dune 2 is
I
quite
enjoy
good.
the Dole Whip. I respect the Dole Whip. I'm not crazy about the Dole. I like more. The thing is, like, I like more like classic, like soft serve.
Yeah, like a salt
Dole
and
Whip's-
strong. Oh,
yeah.
no, wait, not soft serve.
Hot
Not
day,
like that.
I will enjoy it. Like, I'll indulge in the Dole Whip because
Yeah.
it's refreshing.
It's great.
But
I just went to the Dole Whip plantation in Hawaii. You know, it'd be funny, a Dole Whip X Dune 2 cross-marketing situation.
Why in the world would that ever happen?
I don't know, they'd call it like the Sandy Blitz or something.
The last
fun.
thing you're thinking of when you're looking at the desert dunes of Dune is like, you know what I'm pineapple.
and they put a worm in it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'd have fun with
Then
that.
again, I guess SpongeBob lives in a pineapple.
Oh, sure.
And that doesn't really make any sense either. So maybe you're right. Maybe
Yeah.
that would work because people will be like, why are they doing this?
Yeah. What were you saying about the Mummy ride?
Oh, yeah, that's right. The exit hall test. I think this is a pass. I actually, across the board, I think it's fun to get on this ride. And I do
Yeah.
see people have fun, even if the ending is fucking weird.
Yeah, if they're not your 6-year-old nephew.
Unless they're my 6-year-old nephew. He was not clapping. He was doing the opposite.
What is the
Yeah, I
opposite
don't-
of clapping?
Crying.
That's so accurate.
It's very accurate.
despite Imhotep sucking a lot of the bounce out of the ending of the Hollywood, I would still give it a light pass.
I think it's
And
a
then
pass.
the Orlando's definite pass. Regardless, it looks like 2/3, even if I were to. But I would say it's. I still think you still get the bounce.
It's one of the few thrilling attractions at Universal Studios Hollywood. So I think it does get that pass. Anyways, let's move on. That's 6 for 8 in Hollywood. And I mean, we're already world class in Orlando. That's 9 for 9. Let's see if it can get a perfect score. But Orlando, Hollywood has a chance because if it passes this next test,
in Debateland.
it's already in Debateland. But if it gets the next test, it's a world class attraction.
I am so nervous right now. What's the last question? I am.
The last test, the fine wine test. Has this attraction aged well? Has your opinion of the attraction appreciated or depreciated since your first experience? Or, if it's a new ride, do you believe it will age well?
Oh gosh, that's really hard for Hollywood. Because if we're being objective,
it's not aged well.
it's literally not aged well.
It's been pretty bad.
Because
actually.
I went on a tangent earlier in the podcast being like, it actually makes me mad when they don't update stuff because you're supposed to be at the top. So as much as I love it, it does not age that well. It does in my heart with nostalgia, but not technically.
And also,
Are you saying those blacklit cardboard cutouts didn't grow on you?
oh
over-
my god,
while you're riding?
yeah, it didn't work out.
no, it's not great. And I have to say, after getting on the one in Orlando, it aged even poorer in my mind, the Hollywood version, because I was like, damn, now going back to Hollywood and having to get on that, not great. Okay, Orlando, clearly a pass, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that's 10 for 10. Congratulations, Orlando. You're one of the few 10 for 10s on this show. I did not expect that.
Fuck.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
Ooh,
Well, I'm looking back on my notes. Yeah, that's 10 for 10.
he's not lying.
Yeah.
Holy
I mean,
shit.
I
It
guess-
just that was the most sneaky 10 for 10 because we were so focused on how bad Hollywood's version is. Not bad. It's just not as good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not up to par.
But
I think I
guess
have
you
two of the
think-
same
I mean,
thing.
yeah, I guess if you really think about it, that Orlando version of Mummy is like one of the most iconic rides at that entire
I think it's one of the
resort.
most iconic
And
rides ever made. And
it's
it's a legend. It's got legend status.
and it's got the longevity. It's been around for nearly 20 years at this point.
And you could get on a 10 for 10 attraction and wait like 15 minutes.
That is so I'm honestly, I guess I don't think a lot about this, but that is such a weird thing that there's like these two rides that are the same ride. You're like twins, but one of them's like given up, you know, and the other one's like thriving. It's kind of weird.
It is a little weird.
because I guess the thing is like there's so many new bells and whistles over there that you kind of forget about.
Yeah.
You forget that they have a goddamn classic. Now we go back to Hollywood. We're at 6 for We're at 6 for 9 right now. We're gonna fail this, right?
I'll for fine wine definitely fail.
Yeah, I'm gonna fail it as well. And
Hollywood.
it sounds like
Unfortunately, yeah.
So that's 6 for 10, which means it's not an official world-class attraction, though we can debate it now.
Yeah.
And we are gonna have to give a vote of yes or no.
Wait, about what?
About whether or not Hollywood should be a world-class attraction. We could all say our little piece and then move on. I personally do not think it is. And I'm going to start off by saying I'm going to fail it. I don't think it's a world-class attraction. It's too short. The dark ride portion is not darkened enough for me. The roller coaster is not roller coasting enough for me. And I find myself not fulfilled when I get off of it. And I know that there's a better version of it across the states. So it's hard for me to give it that pass. I think it's where it deserves to be. 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I agree. I agree with you completely there. I mean, I honestly do. It's like, especially since there's another version of it that's so fantastic. I love it. If we're talking about just pure love of the experience,
I do love it. Yeah.
It's a 10. But like, I know what you mean. If we're talking about truth and facts here,
yeah,
and not my rose tinted glasses for Brendan Fraser, which isn't even on it.
He's not even on the ride.
Not even there. Now I'm shaking my fist at Universal.
I'm gonna. So is that a no for you then?
No, I agree with you completely. So it's whatever your answer.
Now, Byron, you could
I guess it's like a throwaway at this point. I guess like to put it simply, it's like Imhotep put his big hungry mouth around this attraction and sucked the soul right out of this ride. Because I think that's the biggest difference is one of the attractions, which is now deemed 10 for 10. It feels like it really has a soul, whereas this one kind of just feels like cheap fun, which is, I think that's the extent of what it is. It's always a good time, but world class?
Yeah.
No.
Garrett said it pretty well. He said it feels like they gave up a little bit.
Yeah, nothing that makes you clap.
Which is crazy because both these rides were getting built at the same time.
Let's unpack that first. What does that mean? Nothing that makes you clap is that great?
No. Yes.
What does that mean? So at like the end of a play when they're giving a standing ovation and they're clapping, you're like, dude, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't forced to.
No, you misunderstand. Yeah. If something makes you clap and asks you to clap.
Oh, I see. They force you to clap. I thought you meant like if I felt it made me clap like I felt compelled.
That's great. No. But when they like make you clap to like help their narrative, no thanks.
I do think they make you clap in Orlando there, but I'm already clapping.
That's happening naturally. You can't even remember because your hands are smashing together so much.
Exactly. They're bruised. But in Hollywood, I think 6 out of 10 is fair. It is not a world-class attraction. I am sorry.
And as soon as that Fast and Furious coaster opens up,
it's going to be even worse.
It loses the novelty of being the roller coaster.
At Universal Studios Hollywood, I agree completely. All right, well, that does it. Congratulations to the Orlando version of Revenge of the Mummy, the ride. You are world-class. Hollywood's version, no world-class pass for you. But you're still... I like you.
No, I don't. Bring back those dinosaurs arguing over the popcorn and we'll talk.
That's not even in the same attraction.
I know, but I'm still fuming about it.
Oh, so you're just talking to Universal directly now that you have their ear.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Also, simultaneously, I haven't renewed my Platinum Pass, and if you guys want to give me
one. You've given up. Let me get that pass.
I'm so mad at you, unless,
of course. But thank you, Garrett, for joining us over here in the Tiki Room. Is there anything that you would like to plug at this moment? Perhaps your newest opus that you released?
Oh, geez. Yeah, thanks. Overnight in an extremely haunted hotel.
It's great. He's been working on it for a long time. He's been working on it for how long now at this point?
It was like 4 weeks. It's like 2 hours long.
Yeah, but I mean, you filmed that a while ago, didn't you?
Yeah, it was filmed a month and a half ago or something. Yes, anyways. But thanks. Yeah, no, that's sweet of you to ask.
And in general, go over and check out his YouTube channel. What do you have the URL handy at this moment? If not, we're going to put it on the screen.
This is my name or something.
Garrett_Watts. Go over there, subscribe, watch his content. If you're a fan of myself and Shane, and you like ghost content, and you haven't had your fill, go over there.
Oh yeah, people are always comparing us. And they're always doing like this cute, like, you guys should do with the Ghoul Boys.
I'm honored to be compared with you, Garrett.
Oh, same.
Other ghost hunters,
dude,
not so much. And you could guess who those are.
Whoa.
You could guess who those are.
I can't.
What's with this unexpected last minute?
We got beef, baby. And I'm here to grill it and eat it.
What if we all did a Thunderdome situation?
I don't think I would fare well in that. Because I don't know if you've seen other ghost hunters, but some of them pretty jacked.
Imagine what if Shane Madej turned into a little mouse and he was running around?
I think he probably would.
That's cool. Imagine him with a little knife.
Anyways, thank you for tuning in to this episode of For Your Amusement. Make sure, once again, to subscribe to us over on youtube.com/watcherpodcast if you're watching the video version. Or if you're listening, rate the podcast 5 stars and subscribe. Helps us keep making this show, and we need all the help we can get. And follow us over on the socials at FYA Pod and at We Are Watcher. I'm at Ryan S. Bergara on X and at Ryan Bergara everywhere else. And Byron's at Byron A. Marin. But that does it for us over here. Take it easy. Bye-bye now.